Have you ever felt out of place in a crowd, preferring the silence of solitude? There once lived a man who not only embraced his solitary nature, but also harnessed it to become one of the greatest swordsmen of all time. His name, Miyamoto Musashi. Today, we delve into the power of the loner through his story. Miyamoto Musashi, born in the late 16th century in Japan, is a legendary figure, not just because of his unrivaled skills with the sword, but also because of his unique approach to life. Musashi often walked alone, seeking knowledge and refining his art. But what makes his solitary journey so significant? Musashi believed in the strength of self-reliance. To him, being alone wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a choice, a path to true understanding and self-improvement. He once said, "There is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter." This isn't a rejection of others, but a deep belief in the idea that true strength comes from within. Throughout his life, Musashi was involved in over 60 duels, and he remained undefeated. One of his most famous duels was against Sasaki Kojiro, another renowned swordsman of his time. While Kojiro was backed by patrons and trained with the best, Musashi lived a simpler life, often traveling and training on his own. On the day of their duel, Musashi arrived late, a tactic to unnerve his opponent. Using a wooden sword he carved from an oar, Musashi defeated Kojiro, exemplifying his belief that it's not the external factors, but the internal strength and strategy that matter. Musashi's wisdom isn't just in tales of his duels. He penned it down in the Book of Five Rings, a treatise on strategy, tactics, and philosophy. This book isn't just about sword fighting, it's about life. He writes, "Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought." Musashi encourages us to forge our own path, to learn from experiences, and to trust in our own understanding. The first duel. Musashi's journey as a duelist began at the young age of 13. He accepted a challenge from a skilled samurai named Arima Kihei. Despite his youth and inexperience, Musashi used his wits and observation. He struck Kihei with a wooden staff, defeating him. This was not just a physical triumph, but a testament to Musashi's belief that with focus and determination, one can achieve great feats regardless of age or experience. Duel with the Yoshioka clan. The Yoshioka family was renowned for its swordsmanship. Musashi sought to challenge and defeat its best warriors. In a series of duels, he faced and defeated the clan's leaders. But the final duel was the most telling. Facing an ambush by multiple members of the Yoshioka clan, Musashi showcased not only his martial prowess, but also his strategic mind. He emerged victorious, further solidifying his reputation as an unparalleled swordsman. The island duel. As mentioned earlier, his duel with Sasaki Kojiro is one of the most famous encounters. Musashi's strategy was more than just his tardiness. By arriving late, he used the rising sun to his advantage, blinding Kojiro during key moments of their battle. His choice of a longer wooden sword, carved from an oar, showed his adaptability and the idea that it's not about the weapon, but the person wielding it. His self-imposed solitude. Beyond the duels, Musashi often chose periods of isolation. For example, in his later years he retreated to a cave named Raigando. Here, in solitude, he penned the Book of Five Rings. This wasn't just a time for writing. It was a reflection of his life, learnings, and the essence of his philosophy. By isolating himself, he demonstrated the power of introspection and the value of solitary moments in refining one's craft and understanding. When we hear the word loner, we might think of someone isolated, perhaps even rejected by society. But for Miyamoto Musashi, being a loner was a conscious choice. It wasn't about shying away from society or evading human connection. For him, solitude was a powerful tool, a companion in his quest for mastery and self-understanding. As Musashi wandered the lands of Japan, he wasn't just seeking opponents to duel with. He was on a journey within, exploring the depths of his own mind and spirit. It was in these moments of solitude, away from the noise and chaos of battle, that he crafted his philosophy and honed his skills. Choosing the life of a loner wasn't about loneliness for Musashi. It was about clarity. In the stillness of his solitary moments, he found answers that eluded many. Answers about life, combat, strategy, and the nature of existence. And as we venture further into his world, we'll see how this choice, the choice to embrace solitude, shaped his life, and the powerful teachings he left behind. The journey of Miyamoto Musashi teaches us that sometimes, to truly find oneself, one must first be willing to walk alone. Miyamoto Musashi's philosophy reminds us of the power of disconnecting. In a society where we often gauge our worth by our social interactions, Musashi's principles challenge us to find value within, to occasionally disconnect, reflect, and seek clarity. Consider the idea of adaptability from the water section of his book. Today, in our rapidly changing world, being adaptable is more crucial than ever. Whether it's in our professional lives, facing new technologies, or personal lives, navigating unexpected challenges, Musashi's advice to flow like water, to adapt and overcome, is timeless. Then there's the concept of mushin, the state of mind without mind. In today's context, it can be equated to the sought-after flow state, where one is entirely immersed in a task, achieving peak productivity and creativity. It's a state many of us aim for, whether we're coding, writing, designing, or even just problem-solving. And like Musashi, we often find it in moments of solitude. Lastly, the loner mindset isn't about isolating oneself, but about consciously seeking solitude to recharge, reflect, and grow. Today's leaders, thinkers, and creators often speak of the value of solitude, be it in the form of meditation, quiet morning routines, or solo trips to nature. In essence, while the world around us has changed dramatically since Musashi's time, the core principles he lived by remain profoundly relevant. By embracing moments of solitude and drawing inspiration from Musashi's teachings, we too can navigate the challenges of our modern world with clarity, purpose, and resilience.